Do you know what to do when surprised by a knife attack? It's a knife fight. You're going to get cut. So the first thing you want to be doing is establishing control. This is usually going to be one of the hardest things that you have to do. There's a lot of different methods out there, a two-hand catch. My biggest one that I like to do off of this is getting what's called a bar and catch. I'm creating a bar out of my arm and I'm catching here. So I'm trying to drive this into the opponent to take away that sewing machine or prison shanking kind of motion. When I establish control, we're going to be in a little bit of a fight. He's going to be pushing forward, I'm going to be pushing back, but for today, he's not getting that left hand involved. That's another future video. So while I'm here and I'm controlling this, after I push on him and he pushes back, I'm going to redirect that. I'm not putting it into my armpit, I'm putting it onto my body. What I'm trying to do is feel where it is. The weakness in my grip is right here. So I have to make sure I cover that weakness so I have 360 degrees of protection around. My right arm, which was barring, is now coming up and hooking underneath to help control. You can use your hand here. If you have strong fingers, you can just squeeze in tight. You want to be holding on to this for dear life. I like the Lego hand where I'm hooking and holding on to it. I'm trying to establish control into his body in case he is bigger and stronger than me. That's why I'm deeper into my stance. Now I have to establish what's called a wrap. We see this wrap happen a lot. I'm going to press down to keep control and make that wrap happen. If I let go, he can cut out in that moment. So obviously if I'm pressing in and he's trying to cut, that's what allows me to keep it tight. Your wrap is very important. Don't think of figure fouring here, Aikido people, okay? It's a good solid position to maybe get the elbow to break, but if they can pull it out, it's not really gonna do much for you. So I'm gonna pull this in tight. My hand that was here is now gonna come up and press away. If I don't press away and I'm just kind of holding on to this, he can hug me, grab the knife, and now I'm getting shanked on the other side, so it's a pretty shitty situation. So while I'm establishing that wrap right away as quickly as I can and safely as I can, all of my focus is making sure that I have control of this wrap. I'm pressing onto the neck. He's still gonna be fighting here, right? This is where you gotta watch out for the other hand. In today's demonstration, we're taking him down, okay? So the right leg is forward, my right leg is forward. It sets up my single leg sweep. Make sure when you take down that that wrap stays tight. If you're loose on that, you're gonna get cut. Okay, so you wanna keep it tight the whole time, go down to the ground with him, but if he has any judo background, he's gonna try and throw you with me, or me with him. So I'm gonna drop my center away as I sweep. So I sweep and drop. Notice how I'm staying behind him as much as I can. See what's happening on the back there, at least you guys can hear it, right? Is he's still making little cuts, he's still doing it. Well, he was anyways, right? So that's why we have to keep that wrap tight. Depend on how they fall and you fall together is gonna determine what you do. Let's say his arm bends and it turns. Here's my Kimura, or back in the day you used to call it the Jean LaBelle lockup. I can hold this tight, I can start cranking on this, right? But for me, again, I'm just trying to establish good control. If his arm is straight, all the BJJ guys are like, armbar him, armbar him. You don't know if he has another weapon. Don't armbar, smash his fucking face. So here, I can drop that left knee on the face, and you can see it's very unpleasant for Eric. My biggest thing here, and the reason why I teach my students this, is when I'm able to push it here, it's his spine that's changing position. So even somebody that's smaller than their opponent, they actually have a chance to control somebody by changing the alignment of their spine. So if I can do that, I can be here, I can be smashing into that floating rib. If I have a knife, I can do some damage myself. If I have my gun, I can maybe finish the job. This is really what it's going to come down to, is your rules of engagement. Where do you want to take this? Are you okay with murdering somebody that tried to kill you? Or would you rather not? I personally would not. So if I'm here, what I'm trying to do is establish control. Let's say my right knee is not on the ground and my right knee ended up onto the rib. So I'm here. It feels weird to drop my left leg. So now I'm here, I'm just smashing in the face, smashing, smashing. Try in this moment to give verbal commands. right? So you're aggressive, but you're also showing you have control. This is the martial art way. We're not just murdering people. So as I'm smashing, drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife. I'm waiting for him to drop it, right? I hear it's dropped. Maybe I'm in snow and I don't hear that. He's got to tell me, I dropped it, I dropped it, I dropped it, as you're smashing him. You got to make a choice. What are you going to do right here? And I'm not going to tell you what to do because you're going to have your own rules of engagement. How you choose to get out of this, again, is up to you. The reason why I like this takedown in this position is his weapons are furthest away from me. It's hard for him to kick me with both legs. It's hard for him to try and punch, and especially if I'm driving that into here. So once that knife is gone, keep control, know where that weapon is, stand there, and hopefully you're going to get home safe. But understand now, you might be bleeding. I have friends or colleagues that have been stabbed, and they say it just feels like a good solid punch. So if it's just a punch, you might not even know that you've been stabbed or that you're bleeding out. You got to start admitting that first aid right away. If you don't know what to do, you should probably learn, especially if you're going to train us on knife stuff. Anyways, stay safe, stay protected. Thanks so much for watching the video. Obviously, you're dedicated towards the understanding of what self-defense really is. For those who want to take a deeper dive and understand the 5 ranges of martial arts that you want to be really good at for self-defense, make sure to check out budobrothers.com. We put together an amazing digital seminar. If you want to be able to train with me in person or online, go to calgarygongfu.com, join that mailing list, and it's going to give you lots of information on there as well. When it comes down to it, though, it's the effort that you're willing to put into it is what's going to keep you safe out there. So make sure you put in that effort, train your ass off.